Welcome to Lee Jasper's Drive Time. First of all, season's greetings to everybody and a happy new year for 2020. Lord knows we're going to need some happiness in our lives. This is the last Lee Jasper Drive Time for this year. Next year in January, we'll be back with a brand new and improved Lee Jasper Drive Time, bringing you stories from the cutting edge of the life of the black community here in the United Kingdom and covering international issues from around the world. Today is a very special edition. Before I get on to that, make sure you press like, hit the bell and subscribe. It's the only way that we can get traction in bringing justice for some of the victims of institutionalized racism you see on Lee Jasper Drive Time.
Hi, my name's Lee Jasper. This is Brixton, London, and you're watching Lee Jasper Drive Time.
This week, we bring a tragic story of young Ryan Parkinson, 36 years old, from Tottenham, who faces the most horrendous racism in the BMW Cowley plant in the United Kingdom. Been there working for 5 years. You've got to hear his story to believe it. The trauma that we face on a daily basis through racism in the workplace has to be seen to be believed. Ryan Parkinson, thanks for coming on Lee Jasper Drive Time. Now, my show, as you know, is known for highlighting cases of profound injustice. And that's why you've reached out to me. And today we're really here to explain to people your experience of racism in the workplace. But before we do that, please introduce yourself. You are?
Ryan Parkinson. Originally from Tottenham, North London, grew up there all my life, and at the moment I'm working at BMW Mini in Oxford.
So that's at the world famous BMW Cowley plant in Oxford?
Yeah.
And how long have you been working there, sir?
I've been working there 5 years and 11 months.
Okay. And whilst there, you had a horrendous experience. Tell us, when did this start, your problems at the BMW Cowley plant?
I'd say it started from 2016, but when things got worse was, I say, a year ago, and they just literally been on my case, just looking for anything to get rid of me, really.
Is there many black workers down at Cowley?
No, there's not many black workers there. There's not many black managers either.
So you're in a minority down there in the workforce?
Yeah.
Very few black managers, even few black employees.
Yes.
How did the racism in the workplace start for you?
Well, what happened is I was in work on a Sunday, and it was a shift, like for instance, where we doing extra shifts like cleaning. So the robots needed cleaning. So Saturday and Sundays, they asked us if we were going to come in and do cleaning. So I went in on a Sunday, we stopped, and everyone was in a group. We spoke about what food we wanted to eat. Everyone said they would like a kebab, and I was a bit didn't want that. So I said in the group, I'd prefer to get a Burger King. So as I said that, I said, oh yeah, I'm going to go get a Burger King. Picked up myself and left. Went and got a Burger King. I came back, and then I had this manager in my face, screaming and shouting, asking me, where have I been? And I said to him, I've been on my break. Like, that's where we were supposed to do, and that's what was happening, because we finished all the jobs and they didn't want us to finish before the time was gonna end, so we're not just sitting around and doing nothing. So he said to me that he's going to write a letter to GI and BMW HR that I left site without permission.
So just be clear, GI is the subcontractor who works for BMW, who is your main employer?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So what happened next?
So literally, what happened next is he put in the incident. I got brought in on the 8th of May.
For a disciplinary?
for a disciplinary
For leaving site?
for leaving site
At your lunch break?
at my lunch break.
When everybody else went to get food, you just went to a different shop?
I just went to Burger King literally and come back. So he put in a statement against me, an incident which they call it, brought me in on the 8th of May to talk about it. So I explained to them, like I explained to you what happened. I didn't know anything. I knew we was on break. Everyone else was getting a kebab, so I thought it would have been fine to just go out and get a Burger King, like I told them and explained to them. But what happened is that the LA and manager didn't know, well, not even didn't know, they tried to say that they can't remember me saying that, or me even stating that I was going to Burger King. But when you look through the incident statements, one of the statements say that I did say about Burger King, but he just cannot remember if I said I was going.
Right. And then what happened next?
So after that, so they had me in on the 8th. I thought, what's gonna go on now? Because they've been trying to get rid of me for years now.
What year was this?
This was last year, 2018.
So they brought you in on the 8th, 2016. They ran through this scenario. Did they find you guilty?
Yes, they found me guilty and said that I left site without permission, and they sacked me on the 15th of May for it.
What year was that?
That was 2019,
So May this year,
this year.
you found yourself in this position and sacked. What happened next?
So I appealed the decision because I thought it was unfair, and I thought there was more racial discrimination going on because I knew people that are going off site, for instance, and they're not getting the same like reprimand. But literally,
So your white colleagues are leaving the site.
yeah,
Nothing's happening to them.
nothing's happening.
But the first time you do it,
The first time I do it,
you get sacked.
I get sacked for it. And I also know someone that got sacked, not sacked for it, he just got an incident report put in against him and he got given a 16-weeker. So I just, I can't get it around my head.
Why were
would
you
they
sacked?
sack me, but you wouldn't sack any other employees?
So you appealed against that decision to sack you.
Yeah.
And what happened?
I got my job back.
So you won your case
Yeah, one
in the employment tribunal?
in the GI Group office,
In the appeal
at the
process.
appeal process in the office.
So you appealed that decision and you brought evidence to bear, and the management were forced to reverse their decision and give you your job back.
Yeah, because there was no, as I said, it didn't state in my contract that we wasn't allowed off site, and we've been doing it from literally from I've been there. So when I started in 2000 and I think it was 14, it was standard practice. Everyone does it. It weren't in our contract.
So you got your job back. You're a happy man.
Happy man.
So you're ready to go. What happens next?
So they had me off for a little longer. Then they brought me in on the 8th of July. So when I came in on that Monday, thinking I was gonna go back to work. And then what happens is the union man was there already waiting for me. So I was thinking, what's going on? So he's gone to me, Ryan, do you know that you've got a meeting? So I was like, no, why would I have a meeting? They just told me to come back to work today. He's like, well, I think they've got someone else is putting a case against you for leaving site without permission. So it's just a lot to take in, to tell you the truth.
Absolutely. And what happened at the meeting? Were you?
I weren't even in the meeting, I'd say 5 minutes. Literally, I've gone in the meeting, I got told again, I got caught going off site. I asked who, but they wouldn't tell me.
So they made the same accusation again?
Exact same accusation that I went off site without permission and a manager saw me.
So what's happening with that then? You're being disciplined by them?
Yeah, I went in to another disciplinary meeting.
Yeah.
To have a talk with them again about me going off site.
Yeah.
And obviously they came to their conclusion again that I took, for instance, I went off site. These times I only went off site this time to get the breakfast out of my car because I forgot the breakfast in my car. So I've just gone out, come back in, and it was on my break.
So let me get this right. You've been unfairly sacked for leaving site first time. You've appealed that decision. You've won it. You've got your job back. On the very first day that you go back, they're instigating a new disciplinary procedure because some manager says he sees you go off site. You say, actually, I went to the car park, pick up my breakfast, came back in immediately, and they said they believed you?
Literally, don't look like it, because I got sacked again literally for the same thing that I did, say 6 months ago.
So you've been sacked now twice
For
the same thing, and in actual fact, the second case is weaker than the first case.
Much weaker.
What do you think's been happening to you? Do you think you've been targeted?
I've been targeted a lot. I've been targeted from since I got assaulted at work, and from since that day, nothing ain't got better.
So you got assaulted at work? By who?
By a BMW manager.
Wow. And did you report that?
I reported it. I told them the manager hit me in my chest, and the union came in, got involved, which to me they're no help.
Which union is it?
It's Unite the Union.
Okay.
And literally they don't help no one in BMW. They're not there to help no one. They just help BMW get rid of employees. And
So you felt isolated?
yeah, literally, because there's no one for me to go to. I'm just fighting everything by myself.
So this is unbelievable. You were unfairly sacked, won your appeal, you've been brought back, and the company has imposed the same charges with a weaker level of evidence than they had on the first occasion, which was weak anyway.
Yeah.
And they've sacked you again before Christmas.
Just before Christmas. I just can't get it around my head that they sacked me within 1 week before for the first thing, and then it took them 6 to 7 months to figure out that they're gonna sack me again, and then they do it literally just before Christmas when I've got kids, I've got a roof to keep over my head.
What's been the effect on you? We'll pause. You all right, kid? Don't let them get away with it. Tell them what this has done to you, right? Because people don't know. They think all of this is invented crap and that we don't have real cases. You've got to tell them about your stress, your ill health, what has actually happened to you. When you're ready, just tell me. Take a deep breath. You ready?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just feel like it's just took a proper toll on me, literally. I feel like it messed up my relationship with my ex, because I was bringing a lot of the problems and the stresses home.
Wow.
It's just messed up everything, really. Panic attacks. I suffer from anxiety. Just feel scared. Even when I go back to work there, I feel scared going back, because I don't know what they're gonna try set up and plan now, like due to that I've got allegations now put in against me by managers and like my employers, for instance, saying that I was threatening them, that I was being abusive.
The managers?
The managers.
So your employers have accused you of threatening the managers?
No, the managers and my employers said that I, in the meeting, was threatening them, swearing at them, shouting at them.
You've got evidence to say that you wasn't doing that, haven't you?
Yeah, and I've got the evidence to prove that that weren't the case.
Because you recorded the meeting.
Yeah, I recorded the meeting.
So whilst they're inventing lies to put against you, saying that you were threatening, aggressive in the meeting, actually these are just stereotypical racist tropes, because you have a recording of the meeting that shows no such thing.
Literally.
And your employer doesn't know you have this, does it?
No, they don't know. I told them about it, but I feel they didn't believe that I had it, because when I first brought it up, there weren't no statements from no managers. There weren't no statements about anything about me. But when I didn't show it to them in my meeting, for instance, about the formal grievance that I did put in, when I've come back to work, all of a sudden there's these statements by managers and by my employers, literally stating that I've been abusing them, threatening them, intimidating them, and loads more.
It sounds absolutely horrendous, and we want to say from, you know, our side in the community, we feel your pain, we recognise your trauma. It's an everyday experience for far too many black people in employment. Is this the way things are in Cowley at the BMW plant? Are black people getting a raw deal down there?
Yeah, definitely, 100% it's going on down there. And if, like, for instance, if they was as strong as me and would fight back, literally, they'd still be there today, because I feel like that's only why I'm still there today, because I'm fighting, literally fighting them back with everything. But anytime I bring up anything got to do with racial discrimination, they just try to chuck it out.
So looking forward now to getting some justice for you, are you planning on challenging again appealing the decision to sack you?
Yeah. I've sent in my appeal letter already, so now I'm just waiting for the day for them to get back to me and let me know the date. And
if that doesn't succeed, are you thinking about legal action against BMW and the GI Group?
Yeah, 100%. There's no way I feel like they should get away with this. It's just messed up my whole life.
Well, we thank you for coming here, Ryan Parkinson, today and sharing your traumatic story. You will be launching a campaign next year around all of these issues to get the community support for what you do. I think I would say condolences, because such is the trauma that people face in the workplace. I just don't think people understand the depth of stress and ill health that it provides us. So we're deeply grateful for you showing us your story with us today, and Lee Jasper Drive Time commits to supporting you going forward, and we'll revisit this in 2020. But Ryan Parkinson, thank you for coming on the Lee Jasper Drive Time show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, that's it for another Lee Jasper Drive Time. Wishing you a happy Christmas, a great new year. I'd like to thank our patrons, Latino TV. We're here at Market House, Brixton, Cold Harbour Lane. If you've never been to this venue, you want to come along, particularly at this time of the year. Great atmosphere, great customers, and even better staff. We thank them for their support for the Lee Jasper Drive Time channel. We're going to break for the season. We'll be back with a brand new show in the new year. So stay tuned to this channel. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Happy New Year. I'll see you on the other side.